Some stories are too dark to forget. Germany has seen horrors, some from war, some from peace, but these murders stand apart. Gruesome, twisted, inexplicable. Here are 5 of the most disturbing murder cases in German history. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's begin. 1. Hinterkaifeck murders, a remote Bavarian farm. 6 people found bludgeoned to death, including children. The killer may have lived in the house days after, footprints let in but never out. To this day, the murderer remains unknown. 2. Fritz Haarmann, the butcher of Hanover. He targeted young men during post-WWI chaos, killed at least 20, 4 possibly more. He bit into their throats, vampiric style. Their remains dumped in the river. Executed in 1925, but his crimes still haunt Germany. 3. Armin Mawaz, the Rotenburg cannibal. He didn't just kill his victim, he advertised online, looking for someone willing to be eaten, and someone actually agreed. They met, filmed, everything. He cooked and consumed parts of the body. Convicted in 2006, still alive today. For Jürgen Bartsch, teenage killer of children, killed 4 young boys between 1962 and 1966, lured them into abandoned areas, used a hammer and scalpel, tried to dissect them, sentenced to psychiatric care, died during surgery in 1976. 5. Beate Zschäpe and the NSU murders, a neo-Nazi terror cell murdered 10 people from 2000 to 2007. All victims were immigrants. Police blamed the victims' families for years. Only in 2011 did the truth come out. Beate Zschäpe was part of it. Holland now serves life in prison. Germany remembers these crimes not just for their brutality, but for what they reveal about society, about how evil hides, about how silence kills. Not all monsters look like monsters. Some wear uniforms, some smile, some live next door. These cases still haunt the German conscience and remind us that the darkest stories are true. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain a cold case, fueling endless theories and speculation. Some believe it was a neighbor. Others suspect a vagrant, but no one truly knows. The case inspired horror novels, documentaries, and even films in Germany. Fritz Haarmann's crimes were so horrific, the media called him a vampire. He sold meat at the market. Rumors spread that it came from his victims. His execution was by guillotine and his head was preserved for study. Armin Mawaz shocked the world because his victim gave consent. The video of the murder was used in court but never released to the public. It raised new legal and moral questions about cannibalism and consent. Jürgen Bartsch was abused as a child. He claimed this shaped his crimes. His death during castration surgery ended any chance of rehabilitation. Some viewed him as a tragic figure, others as pure evil. The NSU murders exposed deep institutional failure in Germany. Authorities ignored clear signs of racist motives. Families of the victims were wrongly accused of being involved in crime. Beate Zschäpe claimed she didn't kill but she lived with the murderers. Her trial lasted over 5 years, making headlines across Europe. Germany faced hard questions about extremism growing in silence. These 5 cases span a century, but their horror feels timeless. They reveal the darkest corners of the human mind. In small villages, quiet suburbs, or crowded cities, evil found a way. The victims are remembered, the killers studied, but closure is rare. Society often forgets, but history doesn't. Germany has worked to confront its past, both political and personal. True crime isn't entertainment, it's a mirror. Each case forces us to ask, how could this happen? What signs were missed? Who failed to act? And what kind of world do we live in, where these things can be real? Monsters don't always hide in forests. Sometimes they blend into crowds. Behind charming smiles, friendly neighbors, polite words, darkness can live. Evil isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's mundane. A quiet man with a habit. A basement no one visits. Each of these stories is horrifying, but they're all true, and that's what makes them unforgettable. They're not just crime stories. They're warnings. Lessons written in blood, buried in archives, whispered by survivors. When we say never again, these stories are part of why justice wasn't always served, but the truth eventually came out. These murders haunt Germany's memory, and they should, because the moment we forget, it can all happen again. Stay curious, stay cautious, and never look away from the truth. Because real horror doesn't need fiction. It already happened. These cases remind us humanity is capable of beauty and horror, and history will never forget. The ones who didn't survive? The final question is never about the killer. It's about the silence around them and how long it takes before someone finally speaks. And that's why we must keep remembering, so that these stories are not repeated. Darkness thrives in silence, but memory is resistance. The victims deserve to be remembered,